Baby's first Mizuno. Good morning, YouTube. What's up, everybody? Hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. You guys are getting two pretty hype videos back to back. The other day, it was the Super Blast 2 video. If you haven't watched that, go and do that. And today we're going to be talking about the Mizuno Neo Vista. Like I said in the intro, this is my very first Mizuno shoe that I have ever reviewed on this channel. I've put my foot into Mizuno shoes in the past, but this is also the first Mizuno shoe I have ever run in. I'll shoot it straight with you. In the past, Mizuno shoes haven't really been something that sparked my interest, or that I was dying to get on my foot and try. It just wasn't something that I was clamoring for until I saw the Neo Vista. This was truly the first time I saw a Mizuno shoe and thought, wow, I gotta try that. It looks super cool, innovative, fun, interesting. Now, before we get started today, I do want to ask that if you are not subscribed to this channel, if you could go ahead and do so. I'm trying to get to 30K by the end of the year, and I can't do it without the help of all of you, so if you can go and subscribe, that would be great. And if one video a week on YouTube is not enough for you, then I suggest that you go and follow me on Instagram, where I'm posting reels and more pictures of running shoes and content galore, kind of. But anyway, go follow me there if you want a little more content. But back to this crazy looking shoe here. When I first posted on Instagram that I got my hands on the Neo Vista, so many of you said that I am going to love it, that you love it, and that it's a great shoe. Well, after about 15 miles in the Neo Vista, I have a lot to say that we're gonna get to today. I'll talk about whether I love this shoe, whether it's just not for me, and everything in between. But first, of course, you gotta watch the run footage, where I will also put the specs. Before we get started today, I do want to let you know that this shoe was sent to me by Mizuno, like I said. However, they're not going to see this video before you. They can't tell me what to say, and all of my opinions are my very own. As always, let's start with the upper of the Neo Vista. Mizuno is using a full knit upper here. It is a one-piece booty construction. In that forefoot, there are plenty of ventilation holes for breathability, and if you go to the midfoot, there's really not much in terms of structure or overlays. And the back, the heel counter is fairly sturdy, but still has that knit kind of bendy vibe to it. The laces are pretty standard. They stayed tied. The tongue is, like I said, part of this one-piece booty construction, so there isn't really a tongue in a true sense, and obviously it's not gusseted. Around the ankle collar, we have this knit vibe where there's really no padding, really inside or on the outside of this ankle collar. And the pull tab comes up quite a bit high, as you can see. I'm gonna shoot it really super straight with you guys. This is probably my biggest gripe with the shoe. If you've been following this channel for a long time, then you know that I don't typically like knit uppers all that much. Some I like more than others, and most of the time I just wish it was a mesh upper. Well, here in the Neo Vista, this is a case where I really wish this shoe had a mesh upper. First of all, it was just a little difficult for me to get my foot into this shoe. Really had to wiggle it in, and it is true to size. It fits me fine in that regard. But it was a little tricky to get on my foot. About a mile into my run, I started to feel some digging in sensation into my foot, like right where these two lace holes are. I stopped and I loosened the laces a little bit, thinking maybe that would help, maybe I tied them too tight, but the problem didn't go away. Eventually, I had to end up unlacing the shoe from these two holes and just having the laces across the top of my foot. So I really had to cinch down the laces in that case because I was losing two loopholes here that kind of keep it down on your foot. I didn't feel rubbing anymore. However, though, I did start to feel a little bit of rubbing from the very large and tall pull tab here. And then towards the end of my first run, I started to get some rubbing in the top here, like on the top of my toes and on the side of my foot from this material. The second time I ran in the shoe, I relaced the top, hoping that maybe I wouldn't have an issue, and while I did still feel it a bit, it wasn't as bad. However, I still did feel it a little, and I just couldn't get it to stop. I haven't seen anybody else report problems about this upper, so it could very well be a me problem, and the fact that I just don't get along with knit uppers. But I have to point this stuff out because that is the whole point of doing these reviews, and I gotta say this upper really does not work for me or my foot. But I wish I could say that I had no hot spots, blisters, or irritation, but I definitely had some irritation going on. I wish so badly that this was a mesh material, because then I think that I could have gotten along with this shoe as a whole just so much better. All right, so let's move on down to the midsole of the Neo Vista. Mizuno is using a foam that they call Energy NXT or Next. They say this is their lightweight foam that has plenty of cushioning. You got a full slab of it here, but you also have a plant-based wave plate. If you're not familiar with Mizuno's wave plates, they're in pretty much, if not all, of their shoes, I believe. They're just there to give you more support, a better turnover in your stride, and a little more energy return, especially here in the Neo Vista. And Mizuno also has constructed this shoe with a special geometry that they're calling Smooth Speed Assist, just to give you, again, a better roll through your stride if you're trying to pick up the pace in the Neo Vista. Now, if I separate the midsole from the upper, if I don't think about how my struggles with the upper impacted the ride of this shoe for me, then I would say that I really enjoyed the feel of this midsole foam. There is plenty of it, as you can see here, in abundance, no shortage of cushioning and foam. And it also does have some energy return from that wave plate combined with this softer feeling material. Like I said, I have about 15 miles in this shoe, and the majority of them are at moderate to easy paces, just because that's what I've been doing lately in my training, because I'm not really training for anything specific at the moment. Just kind of training for life. And I definitely felt protected from the road and that cushioning. I think that this shoe's midsole could go long for sure. Whether this is a shoe that you want to go easy in or pick up the pace a bit, I think will be entirely up to you and what the runner wants to do. And the shoe can do both. Now, I'll be honest, I did do some pickups in this shoe a bit to see how it would behave at a faster pace. And it does respond, but I think that there are other shoes on the market that do feel a little faster underfoot. But I also think that has a lot to do with the fact that I was fighting with this upper so much that I couldn't fully appreciate how this shoe felt at a higher speed. And that brings me to the fact that I just talked about how this midsole feels by itself, on its own, without the upper. But together with the upper, I just couldn't really get a good rhythm in the shoe. I felt a little bit unbalanced because I couldn't get comfortable, so I was changing up my stride a bit so that I wouldn't feel the pain and the discomfort that I was getting from rubbing and all the things. Now again, guys, if you don't have issues with knit uppers, then none of this may apply to you. So if you're a person who loves a knit upper, wants a nice cushy, soft feeling midsole with a little bit of energy return, then this will be a great shoe for you. I think Mizuno did a great job constructing it, and without the upper on top of it, I think I would love it even more. Turning this shoe over, Mizuno is using G3 rubber. You have it around the perimeter of the shoe, and of course you can see that exposed wave plate in the middle. The traction on the shoe is really good. I didn't have any issues. It's been pretty dry here, so I didn't run in any rain, but it was on grass, gravel, pavement, cement, the whole kind of thing, and it bites onto the pavement, it grips on nicely, and it inspired confidence in my running. That was one thing that I wasn't frustrated about because I knew that I was going to be upright while running in this shoe. The Mizuno Neo Vista is $179.99 on runningwarehouse.com, which I think sits in the ballpark of all the other shoes that are in this category. I think they're kind of marketing this as like a daily trainer / tempo day shoe. I'll put links in the description of this video. You can click those and pick up your own pair. Just keep in mind that will be an affiliate link with Running Warehouse. However, it doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can keep making these videos. Now, to be honest, I probably won't run in this shoe again. I feel like a broken record, but it's just because of this upper. Now, does this discourage me from wearing other Mizuno shoes? Does it make me not want to try their future products? Not at all. In fact, I am more inspired now than I ever have been to keep trying Mizuno shoes. Now, if Mizuno could only release this with a mesh upper, then I think I'd be set. What do you guys think about the Mizuno Neo Vista? Have you tried it? Do you love it? Are you not really feeling it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Well, everyone, that concludes this video on the Mizuno Neo Vista. If you enjoyed it, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I upload a new video. Kind of about the basketball of it all here. Although I think if you tried to play basketball in this, you would absolutely roll your ankle, and I do not recommend it. I have another video for you next week, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like heller. See you next time.